Hey everyone, welcome back to World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore and our Human Paladin. I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope you are all doing well. So today we are back in Ashenvale once again, of course. We've got tons of stuff here to do still. And we're currently heading north of the main road in the central part of the zone, so we can turn in Rain's Cleansing. For those of you who watched the previous episode, we got very lucky with picking up that iron pommel from that slime just off of the main road towards the Barrens. Let's make sure we're heading in the right direction here. Gonna head back this way. So we'll turn this quest in. It's probably, the follow-up is going to be either yellow or orange to us. So we're probably not going to end up doing it, if I had to guess, but we'll see what it ends up being. From there, if we have nothing else left to do, we're going to head back towards the ruins of Stardust. We've got a quest to complete there, and then we can turn in what we have at Astronar before taking on the western side of the zone once again. We've got calling the threat up north with the Furlbog. And then, of course, we've got a named Naga over here on the Zorm Strand. So we'll see how far we get today. It all depends on what kinds of follow-ups we get from these quest turn-ins. That will certainly dictate our path. Yeah, hopefully we can hit level 29 soon so we can start using that new shield that we picked up. And then honestly, once we're done with Ashenvale, I have not given it much thought as to where we would go next. I feel like it's just whatever we want from there. We could easily go back to the wetlands or Duskwood. Probably going to be the two primary options. There's stuff in Red Ridge as well. But some of that stuff was quite scary, so I think I would start with either the wetlands or Duskwood. Alright, and we have arrived back at Sheldrin. Let's see what she has for us this time, as we continue to try to put this rod back together.
Hi! Ah, the great outdoors.
You found the final piece? Wonderful for you. And for Rain. I guess we'll have to see about repairing it, won't we?
What is nature's call?
The rod's design is simple. Dartol didn't use his arcane knowledge in its creation. It is more druidic in nature. Heh, I made a pun, didn't I? Druidic in nature? I'm so funny. Now then, the rod. Let's see about fixing it, shall we? There, now it just needs to be recharged. Here's the completed rod, Sedelian. Reconstructing it was simple. It's finding the shrine that has the power to recharge it that will be the hard part. With some focus and effort, it shouldn't be too hard for someone like you, who's already accomplished so much. Head southeast of here. There are a few paths, so be careful. And keep your eyes to the north. The shrine is hidden within the mountains that surround this glade. Once there, place the rod within the shrine. The rest is magic. Dartle's Rod of Transformation. It transforms you into a Furlbog for 3 minutes on a 1-minute cooldown. Huh. Is this a one-time use, or can you just be a Furlbog forever? I mean, that would be hilarious. Alright, I mean, I imagine we're going to run into some sort of danger, though, right? Like, it's not going to be as simple as just, like, finding the hidden shrine. So head southeast of here. There are a few paths, so be careful and keep your eyes to the north. The shrine is hidden within the mountains that surround this glade. Okay. I mean, it wouldn't be Iris Lake. I don't think. So it must just be the mountains over here to our left. And maybe there's like some sort of path or something. I guess we can try to take this on. Let's see what... the quest is still yellow to us. So, I suppose we can go check that out. I'm a little skeptical as far as it being as simple as just approach a shrine, get the rod recharged, and then we're done. But I suppose we'll find out. And this is yet another quest that I don't think I've ever completed, so definitely gonna have to figure out where this place is. It's certainly a place that I have not seen before. Yeah, I've really been enjoying Ashenvale so far, in particular because there are so many secrets in this zone. Like so many little tucked away hidden places and coves and just different like camps and all sorts of stuff that like I've just never seen before. It's been really enjoyable trying to search for it on our own and not having some sort of guide or add-on to tell us where to go next. So I'm wondering if we can climb up the hills now. I'm gonna be careful here not to get like stuck. I suppose we'll just keep going around. So we'll keep following the mountain range here, and then we'll look for an opening somewhere that will take us up. Yeah, there are definitely there's definitely some open space over here. Let's just thoroughly try to check each spot. We'll go back as far as we can go down this path here. I mean, this looks like a path to me that would definitely lead somewhere. Oh yeah, there's definitely like something leading up the hill here. Oh yeah, this is too perfectly crafted. Very cool. And we got a nice big tree trunk here. Is that the shrine, perhaps? It sure looks like it. Very cool. I'm sure a lot of you guys have done this quest before, but for me, yeah, never actually seen this before, so really glad that we saw this quest line through. Alright, so let's click on it. You can sense a subtle yet powerful force within the shrine and surrounding trees. You begin placing the rod within the shrine, and a soft thrumming noise emits from around you as the shrine begins to glow. After the glow dies, you can see the re-enchanted rod within the shrine's basin. The rod is now complete, lies in your hands. The rod now complete lies in your hands. Sheldrin will want to hear of your success. All right. Oh, look at that. Yeah, you got some cool, really cool effects here. Yeah, I mean, let's use it. Very cool. I'm going to tuck that away. And we're going to put it on our bars. It's got a minute cooldown, which means we can just be like this forever. I mean, we're definitely walking back as a Frolbog, right? It's crazy. I mean, you got different animations for him and everything. I wonder if like yeah, I mean, that's crazy. You have like all these different animations. Do you get like a laugh or something? Yeah, nothing happens when you do certain emotes, I guess, but it's crazy that they had a playable model of a Frolbog, but they weren't an actual like playable race at any point in like WoW's history. I mean, look, they've got their own like casting animations. We should like attack something and like kind of see what that looks like. I'm just yeah, like that's so crazy. So if I use the rod again, it just refreshes the duration. I mean, if that's the case, I'm playing as a Frolbog for the rest of the episode. Yeah, what a cool toy. Question is, can we live if we jump down this? I mean, we've got divine protection, so yes. We did test that in the previous episode as well. Divine protection does in fact prevent fall damage, which is good to know. Okay, so the second you enter combat, it drops. You can use it in combat, though. Oh yeah, look at that. It worked for like a second. All right, well, I suppose that makes sense. I guess I suppose if it would last through combat, you would see a lot more people just using it all the time. I would think. Now, I'd be curious to know, because we're heading back to Sheldrin to turn this next part in. I would be curious to know if, like, the next step of this quest, or maybe a different quest, would be to, like, infiltrate a Frolbog camp with it. You know, and, like, speak to members of the tribe or something. I would also be curious to see if it would make us friendly against the Frolbogs that we're going to be dealing with later in the episode. Like if we can just like walk our way through the camp or something. Not that we would really need to do that or want to do that anyway. It might be riskier that way. Because once we're exposed, we would be surrounded pretty much. You can cast it while moving as well, which is interesting. In fact, I can't think of a single spell in the game that you can cast while moving. I mean, you can't even fire arrows while moving, so it's another interesting interaction.
Ah, the great outdoors.
You've done it, Sedelian. Well done.
What is nature's call?
I suggest you find Rain and let her know the rod is finished. I'm sure she'll know what your next course should be. Good luck, Sedelian. Yeah, she's been the one giving us, the quests to take on the Vrobog, so it makes sense that she would have some more for us. But before we head back to Astronar and do that, we're going to head over to the Ruins of Stardust, which is kind of on the way. So we're going to get back to the main road. We'll get to that curve in the road just before Astronar. And then we'll head down there. Yep, we're going to need to collect handfuls of Stardust. I don't know if that's going to come from the enemies in the area or if it's just going to be like lying on the ground. But yeah, we'll figure it out when we get there. Buff has fallen off already. I guess this is also just an alliance-based quest too. I don't know if the Horde get this same quest line or I can't remember, or if they get like a different one with a different type of rod that has the same sort of effect, but for like a different type of enemy. Turns you into like something else besides a Vrobog. Alright, we're gonna head off the road. And it shouldn't be long before we get back to the ruins. Got some bog elementals we're going to have to deal with. And it looks like the Stardust are these, the dust is covering the bushes. Luckily everything here is around level 22, 23. So we shouldn't be too bad. There's a bunch of this stuff right in the middle here, where this shrine is. It's funny that it makes the same sound as equipping a piece of mail gear or looting a piece of mail gear. Just like that, we are done. So let's get back to Astronar. We've got a bunch of stuff to turn in. And then we'll see what else we've got for Ashenvale. So I guess we'll turn in that Stardust first. Should be in this building here.
Greetings.
You gathered the dust. I will create a poultice from these. It should bring down Rilara's fever. Man, I cannot speak today. Thank you again, Sedalian. Without your help, my child would surely perish.
Farewell. Peace be with you.
Rilara's fever has passed, but she is still very weak. I do not believe time alone will give her back the strength she has lost. I believe it will take the power of a moonstone. We used to gather moonstones at Fallen Sky Lake to the southeast, until the Shade Thickets came. Their leader, a Shade Thicket oracle, gathered up all of the fallen moonstones and hoards them. Now you must retrieve a moonstone from the oracle, and to do that, I fear that you must slay him. Retrieve a fallen moonstone from the Shade Thicket oracle. Yeah, I think he said Fallen Sky Lake, right? That's down here. Yeah, that's close to the entrance to the Barrens. So, but I believe that area is infested with they're all bog elementals, but I think they're around level 30, I believe, or somewhere around that level. So we will leave that alone for a while. Let's speak with Rain Wolfrunner next. We've got the Rod of Rain. What do we do with it?
goddess watch over you.
You've recreated the rod Taranis had set out to find? That's wonderful to hear. Taranis would be proud to see his quest is continuing even after his tragic passing.
Farewell.
Alas, I'm not completely certain what he had in mind next. If what he said was true about the rod's power, then it will allow you to take on another form altogether. Which form, I do not know. Perhaps he meant to use its powers to get closer to the tainted Furlbogs, but even the uncorrupted creatures would slaughter him were he not careful. Transformed by the rod, Dartol would have to speak to a Furlbog who is safe from the effects of fell moss. I would start your search southeast of Mistral Lake. Find an uncorrupted Furlbog and using the power of Dartol's Rod of Transformation, speak to him. Yep, so this is exactly what I was thinking about. I would start your search to the southeast of Mistral Lake. Yeah, that's where that little camp was. So you know what? Those must have been the like the blood something. I think it was like the blood tribe. I forget what they were called, but yeah, that makes sense that that's where we would be going for that, for sure. They were around level 28, 29 or so. So this is another one that we can wait on for sure. We can, just hold on to the rod. We're going to hold on to the rod anyway, so I'm not too concerned about it. Let's read Taranis' journal again real quick towards the end, because I feel like his entire journal, like we've read the entire entry before several episodes ago, but I feel like he's basically predicting the quest line that we're going through up until a certain point. Yeah, here you go. Not all the Furlbog have been corrupted. Some still live and try to protect the forest. During their corruption, some of the Furlbog fled, many were killed, and others were forced out of their tribes. I found a venerable Furlbog of the Foul-Wheeled tribe living above Lake Mistral. His name is Krog. I've watched him for days, and I think if I were to approach him in the guise of a Furlbog, I could help him and discover a way to reestablish a bond between our people. Very cool. Okay. 3 parts could be used against them, so we've already got the rod put together. Let's see what else we can find here. He had been throughout all of Dordanil, which we haven't visited, but we've heard of the place before. It's where all those ghostly druids kind of exist. And I think it's a burrow in itself. Just holding the pommel. As I find out, I'll put more details then. So I think we've gotten through everything here in the journal besides the fact that we need to speak with a Furlbog named Krog. So I guess we'll see what happens from there, but we're going to leave that quest alone for a bit. I'm still hesitant to delete the journal out of our bags, so I'm just going to keep it for now. I just don't want to risk just it being important for one reason or another. All right, so with that being said, we have to turn in the Mage Summoner. That's backed by Silverwind Refugee, actually. So we kind of messed up there. We probably should have stopped there before we went to the Ruins of Stardust. Alright, in either case, then, I guess we'll just move on for now. We'll deal with the named Furlbog to the north. Dal Bloodclaw's skull. And then we have Ruzel. So yeah, let's test this theory. Let's see if transforming into a Furlbog makes us friendly. It probably won't. Yeah, I mean, because this is also a completely different tribe of Furlbog too. This is the Thistlefur, not the Foul-Wheeled. So if I walk past, yeah. Yeah, they aren't falling for that. I don't know if the Foul-Wheeled and the Thistlefur were ever friends at a certain point, but it doesn't seem like it. Alright, so we'll carve our path. It's a little bit safer anyway to do so. And Dow Bloodclaw should be patrolling around the camp inside the village. There's a lot more open space on this path into Thistlefur village than I remember. Felt like I used to remember it being a lot more compact. Pretty hard here. Let's just use Divine Protection and heal up. Getting hit too many times. We are inside the village now, pretty deep inside. Let's keep our eye out for our target. He's probably not going to look that much different, but he'll be bigger, maybe? Oh no, he does look pretty different. There he is. And he's blue, while the other ones are brown and white. Should be able to grab him pretty easily. And then we can head over to the Zormstrand and pick up Ruzel's head or whatever we need to collect from that Naga. Perfect. Let's get out of here. We're getting close back to the main road. Things are starting to get purple again. And we've got quite the trip. I think we need to be at this island, basically the most northwest point of the zone. Is I believe where that Naga and his cronies are going to be. So we've got a nice relaxing walk ahead of us. pick up some thistle fur on the way out. I do hope you guys have been enjoying Ashenvale over the past few episodes. I really do enjoy. I enjoy both I enjoy both ways, really. Like, as far as the difference between leveling between different zones, like every episode, kind of hopscotching around Azeroth. But I do enjoy these other sessions where we kind of just go all in on a zone for 4 or 5 episodes, even sometimes. It's nice to kind of get a little bit deeper into some of these longer quest chains in these zones when we do this. The information becomes a little bit more top of mind. We don't have to remember as much when we return. And it gets me thinking about some of just kind of the fact, like how the quests are laid out in Classic in general, I think, where every zone obviously has many different, side stories and, different areas with their own kind of, problems and things to deal with. But I feel like every zone's got like one big quest line that really kind of defines the adventure of that zone the most. And I think for Ashenvale, it must be Rain's Cleansing. This is it's been quite the adventure going through, discovering Tyrannus, going through his journal, and, fulfilling what he wasn't able to, kind of completing the journey for him that he didn't get a chance to experience. And that's really cool. You think of other zones like, the Barrens, you can point to, the hunting quest line. That takes you quite a ways. It takes you all over the zone. There's like 10 quests for it. That, or like, maybe the Quill Boar. The Quill Boar is probably an easy one to point to as well. For Horde side, and then like maybe Alliance, in Lochmadan, you've got the Trogs. There's a huge quest line for that. In Westfall, obviously you have the Defias. Any human zone, you've got like a ton of different. You've got so much going on that you could point to. But that's been obviously a big part of this character, is just experience everything in so much more depth. Reading all the quest texts and the books and these journals and notes and reports that we pick up from other people, like, just paint such a clearer picture. And in some cases, I didn't learn like too much. Like, it was like, oh, this is just what I expected, just with a little bit more flavor. But in other cases, it like completely changes the way that I see the zone. And I feel like Ashenvale was no exception to that. Like, just the different places I've never seen before. Picking up this, Dartol's Rod of Transformation and putting this together for the first time. And not just putting it together and doing the quest line, because like, if I didn't read the quest text, or Tyrannus' journal for that matter, I would have never known. I would have just went through the steps, got this rod that turns me into a Furlbog, and I would have had no idea why that was the case, or why I have this item. Why is it important? What's it all for, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. So, yeah, to be able to have some experiences like that through this character is definitely going to make Sedalian here very memorable for me, I think, moving forward. even long after his journey is over, whether we make it to 60 or not. Yeah, so having this immersive playthrough has definitely meant a lot. There's so many other hardcore characters that, you know, I feel like I might be able to remember their deaths, but like, you know, the story they went through, you know, I feel like hardcore characters in general can be quite forgettable if you know, for a player like me who just constantly plays hardcore and has had many hardcore characters over the past year in particular. This one, I'm always going to remember this one for sure. Alright, so we're swimming across. We're at the Zorm Strand, obviously. And we should be at the island shortly. And we're going to want to clear out a decent amount of these guys. It is risky being on this little island when we make this pull because we don't have anywhere to run besides other places on the island. So it might benefit us to remove some of these Naga to give ourselves some more space, just in case something goes wrong. Which again, if I'm not mistaken, we might have to fight 3 enemies at once. They're going to be green to us, which is going to be why I think that this is, you know, this should be possible. As we just picked up a staff. It's going to be nice to sell. Yeah, we're gonna wait until we see the patrol. We should see them walking around. And we've got all of our cooldowns, so... And we still have the bag of marbles too, we've only used it twice. This might be a perfect opportunity to use it, I think. Alright, let's get this water. And let's start looking. I think I see them up there. Yeah, Ruzel is level 22, and then the other 2 that are with him are 20 and 21. So that, yeah, that should definitely be manageable. It's just 3 enemies at once. One of them being a spellcaster is yeah, it's always rough. So we're going to want to target the Sea Witch first, I think. We're going to want to blow up the Sea Witch as soon as possible. Let's get in there. Oh my god, we took like 40% of our damage, like almost immediately. The Sea Witch, Divine Protection. Hopefully there's nothing else patrolling like the beach. We'll take on the Myrmidon next because I think the Myrmidon can apply like an armor debuff or something, which we don't want. I'm going to pop the bag of marbles on Ruzel herself. Okay, I think we're in decent shape. We're going to have to spam up some heals. Use all of our mana now so that we can let some of it come back to us naturally. As we start whittling her down, we should be in the clear for the most part though. And we've got a 6th level advantage. And you know when a fight is long when you're able to use a Hammer of Justice twice in the same fight. Since she is a named NPC, there's a chance they could spawn pretty quickly, so we're going to drink real quick and then we'll get out of here. I think we turned this in at the camp that's outside the Zoramgar outpost for the Horde. Alright, yeah, let's go get that turned in. And then we'll head back to Astronar, I guess. I don't think there's anything else we have to do out here. And maybe we'll spend a little extra time. We'll make the episode a little bit longer so that we can turn in that quest at Mistral Lake as well, at the Silver Wind refugee. And because I think at that point, I think we'll be ready to move on. Rain's Cleansing, Caneth, Stillwind, Fallen Sky Lake, all of this stuff I think we'll handle on our next trip back here to Ashenvale. Tower of Alphalax, totally forgot about that as well. And yeah, I think we'll head back to Red Ridge, maybe? You know, the Blackrock Bounty quest is kind of risky. I don't think, because we picked up a Watchful Eye, which came from the Tower of Azora. I only picked it up because I've never actually seen this quest before. It is gray to us now, so like I'm not sure if I want to complete it or not. It is like, I think on the opposite side of the zone in Red Ridge. It's like all on the eastern side. And I don't think there's going to be anything else for us to do over there. So we would be really going out of our way to complete a gray quest essentially, but it still might be fun to see it through. So haven't decided yet, but I think we're going to do either Red Ridge or Duskwood next. And I think the goal is going to be between those two zones to get to level 30. I think that would be good. If we can get to level 30 between those two zones, we can pick up our new abilities in Stormwind before heading back to the wetlands. Talon, that's his name. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. It's been so long since we've talked to this guy. You found the ring. Thank you, Sedelian. Please take this as payment, and know that your deeds today will remain forever in my memory. And that's it. That is it for the Zorm Strand. Everybody say goodbye, because we will not be returning. At least I'm pretty sure we won't be. Certainly not going into Black Fathom Deeps, so I think that's going to be a wrap for that side of the zone. All right, let's get back to Astronar. Alright, we're passing right through Astronar. We can turn in calling the threat, and we'll see what kind of follow-ups we get for that. Maybe they'll send us back to Thistle for hold. That might be something.
Hello. Del Nadris. Good luck, friend.
Well done, Sedelian. We are under constant threat from the Frollbog. Hopefully this will keep them at bay for a bit longer.
Goddess watch over you.
No follow-ups. Interesting.
How may I help?
Alright, let's vendor some stuff real quick. And let's go over to the Silverwind Refugee by Mistral Lake. We'll turn in that last quest. Turning off the main road, and I can see Silverwind Refugee in the distance. So we're turning in Mage Summoner. What are we getting for this quest? That's right, the Light of a Loon, this insane item that I am not going to allow myself to use, because I think what I've been doing is I'm allowing myself to use debuffs, like items that create debuffs or like deal damage or something, but anything that like could resemble a buff, especially something as powerful as Light of a Loon, I feel like is just not going to be in the spirit of the Ironman challenge. So again, this might be very painful for some of you to watch, but I'm about to vendor a Light of a Loon.
Good luck.
Now I can see that repugnant smile wiped from his face forever. You have done very well, Sedelian. Take this, the light of a loon. Drink of it when all seems lost and death is near. It may save you, goddess willing. Just became honored with Darnassus. That's pretty cool. And goodbye, light of a loon. 4 silver, 5 copper. Nice. Alright, guys. Yeah, it turns out we didn't need to extend our episode today, which is pretty cool. We are 2 bars away from 29, so we're going to be able to equip this new metal buckler soon. It is very ugly. Not as cool as the shield we have now, but we're going to replace it at level 32 anyway, with something that will probably look a bit cooler. But yeah, that's it for me for today, guys. I think we're going to go to either Red Ridge or Duskwood in the next episode. Either way, I think we're going to handle both of those zones first until we hit level 30, ideally. And then we can pick up our new abilities and head back into the wetlands from there. In the meantime, I appreciate you all so much for watching. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please consider liking the video and subscribing for more. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.